Hello everyone and welcome. This is Wasmatic and this is another in my skills and builds guide, and this is going to be an alchemy, signs and fast attack build, I hope. Jonas Flores, if you're watching, this was in response to your comment yesterday. It's actually taken me all day to do this because I didn't want to do the build without getting everything that I should, so I've spent quite a few hours running around and getting the Griffin Armour set. So, believe it or not, I didn't have that. So this is going to be a alchemy, signs and combat build. When I started looking at this, I thought with a signs focused build supported by alchemy and fast attack combat, you have to make a decision as to whether you're going to use your signs for crowd control or for primary damage output, so your primary DPS and crowd control, or whether you want your signs to be crowd control and have your fast attack to be your primary damage output supported by alchemy. So for this video, I'm actually, given that I'm only level 24, I'm actually going to do a build which is focused on signs doing the damage as opposed to fast attack, and then I'll do another video probably today or possibly tomorrow, and I'll refocus into doing fast attack with signs as support for crowd control. So this build is, as I've said, it's signs as primary damage output, some crowd control because we have to put points somewhere to get further down the tree, and a bit of alchemy, and then some fast attack. Personally, if I was going to do this build for myself, I wouldn't have the fast attack. I would have signs and alchemy, or I'd drop the alchemy and have signs and attack. But I think the best build, having tried plenty today, the best build will probably be full signs supported by some alchemy for vitality. So here we go. Geralt is naked. Let's start. I've done that deliberately because I wanted you to see how the character builds up. So I'm going to dive into, we know that Jonas, you wanted fast attack in there, so I'm going to put 5 points into fast attack. I'm going to turn that volume down so you can't hear it. And then we know that you wanted some alchemy, so I'm going to put 5 points into the potion overdose threshold. I'm going to put 3 points into tolerance so we can get the benefit of 2 decoctions. Now at this point you could opt to spend another 5 points in increasing your vitality by 1,000 per decoction if you wanted to. Given that I'm level 24, that then doesn't afford me enough points to really get as far down the signs tree as I would like. So I'm not going to do that for the moment, but I think if I was to do a build along a full build along these lines, I would put 5 points in there, and I would probably drop 5 points into Trial of the Grasses. So I wouldn't put anything in that. I would select that and that, that being acquired tolerance, the heightened tolerance which I already have, and then tissue transmutation. I'm going to use Quen as a heal, and I'll show you this in action hopefully later on in this video, but Quen actually has the alt version of Quen can actually heal you, and it heals you for quite a significant amount as well. So and that will scale with your sign intensity, so that's why we needed the Griffin Armour set. So let's jump into, so we've got 3 there, so there's one tree made up of 1 fast attack. Jonas, you wanted that, so I'll put it in there. I've got the 2 from alchemy. Now I'm actually going to do, to make up a tree of 3 down here, I'm actually going to put in one of the general. Now the general being this, Griffin School Techniques, because I'm going to use this with the full Griffin Armour set. So every piece of medium armour increases sign intensity by 5% and stamina regeneration by 5%. Very important. If you're going to use signs as your primary damage output, you need to spam those spells as fast as possible. So we're going to have a point in there. So let's just drop those in now. Actually, do you know, I'm going to put that over there on its own. It would be really good if I'd leveled up a little bit faster and had enough, had unlocked all of the skill trees so I could complete this build for you, but I will come back to it, I promise, and I will do it in full. It gives you a good enough idea though. Where's that gone? Come back. I want you in there. Thank you very much. Okay, so we know we've got our 2 alchemy, our fast attack, and we've got the benefit from the general skills in armour, Griffin School of Armour. Now to dig into the signs. I'm going to use Igni as the primary damage output for this build. You could choose to use a whole raft of different signs. I mean, you could make videos galore about how you're going to focus on using crowd control, different abilities. So I'm for the moment going to focus on using Igni. So fire attack is the primary damage output. I'm also going to use some Erden for crowd control. So this is that gets me down to the next skill tree. Again, I'm going to use the Alt Igni for the primary damage output. That's going to be my main attack, so I'm going to put 3 points in there. Now, I know I want the heals from Quen. I'm going to use that to heal me. So I'll put 3 points in there. Now there is a point you have at the moment 12 points in the branch, and you need, if you see there on the bottom left, you need 18 skills points to unlock the next tier. So I'm faced with having to put 12 points, 6 points. I've got to find 6 points. So I am going to use the Alt's Erden sign as well. So that's 5, and I've got one more, and then I've filled the skill trees, but it still doesn't have me down to the next tier, which is where I need to get to, and I've got 9 points left. So I will actually, it's not going to factor in this at all. I will put a point, 3 points in there. There we go. Now that gets me down to the next level, which is where I wanted to get to boost the intensity of my primary attack, which is going to be Igni. So I've got 6 points left. I'm going to drop 5 into there. Now that leaves me with 1 point left to spend. If I'm going to use Quen, I could put a point, the remaining point in there, and I obviously focus on that. I could, if I wanted to, increase the intensity on that. I'm going to choose to focus on boosting Quen because I know that I want to use that to heal me. So I've got attack with Igni there, and I've got heal. Right, so now I start to build what it looks like for me. So my primary attack goes in first. So the primary Igni goes in there. Now this gives me the melt armour, the weakened armour, so that goes in as well. So that's my damage output. My heal, which is this, the Quen, sorry, the Alt. That's my heal. So that's that done. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and I've got 5 left. Now I know that I'm not going to put this Erden in because it was just to get me down to the next tier. I'm going to use the Alt Quen for crowd control, which will slow as well and do some damage. I'm going to use I'm going to need that Igni intensity because I'm going to need to boost my primary attack. So now I have a choice. I can put that Quen in, or I can put the Ard. It's horses for courses. If you like the fact that you can also have a little bit more crowd control with the Ard knockback, then put that in. If you actually want to boost your heal some more, put that in there. For now, I'm actually going to opt for having the Ard and get the extra crowd control. So there we go. That's the build. That's the build as it stands at level 24. If you wanted to change that further, you could swap in and out. If you put 4 points in there, depending on the circumstance of the situation you find yourself in, you could have a little bit more healing from Quen intensity, or keep the crowd control in hard. How would you then build this up further? You could put your Erden intensity in. I mean, it's up to you. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have put fast attack into this build. That is, it kind of sits out on its own, so it's at odds with the rest of the build. So I think if I was to build this, Jonas, I'm talking to you now. If I was to build this for myself, I would drop the 5 points out of fast attack because it kind of sticks out from the rest of the build, and I would put 5 points into the signs probably. You could alternatively put those 5 points into the hit point, the vitality boost from tissue transmutation there. So if I now drop in my mutagens, and I will then go and test this build out. Where are my blooming mutagens? So for the bottom tree here, I'm not boosting with the red mutagen. I'm going to boost the alchemy and gain an extra 450 on my vitality as well. So there you go. Now, bear in mind with this build, you can have you can run 2 decoctions at the same time. So let's now drop the armour in because he's currently stood in his pants. So I'm going to use the Griffin. So I have the Griffin steel sword. I want the Griffin silver sword. I want the Griffin armour. This is only the superior version. The boots I will be upgrading to the Mastercraft when I've leveled up a bit more, obviously. The Griffin gauntlets, and now I want my pants. Superior Griffin pants. So you can see now on the bottom right my sign intensity as I was putting that on. If you rewind and watch when I was putting the items of clothing on, the sign intensity was going up and up and up. At 178 now. As you get further down your skill tree and you want to boost your Igni damage output, you can. I would recommend putting 5 points into Pyromaniac. That will also be really beneficial because it gives a 100% chance of applying a burn. And again, when people are on fire, they're too busy stood there trying to pad themselves off, they won't attack you. So it's effectively damage, it's a dot, and it's also a bit of crowd control as well. So that's the build as it is at the moment. Like I said, I would be putting probably 5 points into Quen, maybe, or a few points into Quen to get us down to the next skill tree in the upcoming, as I level up and get more points. And then I will be putting full 5 points into Pyromania. So that's the build. I'm going to do a little bit of footage. Let's see it in action. Okay, everyone. I've found a Leshen to fight on a Witcher contract, but it's level 25. So it's level higher than me, and I'm going to select my decoctions. I've actually entered into the fight now, but I'm going to pick my decoctions. So I'm going to stick with because I'm using lots of signs, I'm going to be draining stamina. Because I'm draining stamina, I want something that's going to benefit me from doing that. So performing the Echidna decoction, performing actions that consume stamina regenerates vitality. I'll have some of that, thank you very much. Now the other element that I wanted to pick for this is damage dealt to foes regenerates vitality. So I'm playing my my vitality pool and my stamina pool and my damage against each other. So the damage is going to regenerate my vitality and so on and so forth. So you're actually, the skills are complementing each other. In terms of the potions, I'm going to run with Swallow, which I don't have. I've forgotten to meditate. So I'm going to use Petrie's filter there, which is increasing sign intensity. So I'll use that instead of the Thunderbolt. Now, because I would normally run with Swallow on this, but I don't have Swallow, so I'm going to take. What should I take? Let's have a look. No, I don't think that's going to help me. I don't think that's going to help me. Increased maximum vitality could be useful. Accelerate stamina regeneration. That's looking pretty good for this build. So here we go. So let's get into the combat, and I need to drop down the Alt Erden sign. So that is something that's going to, it's going to throw something at me. That is something that's going to slow him down. Then I'm going to drop a quick Quen shield on myself. And there you go, that was good timing. And now I'm just going to wait for him to come towards me. And I'm just going to stay focused around here. Burn, 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 burn. Leshens are vulnerable to fire as well, so that's handy. So back to Erden, and then it's just a rinse and repeat really. Keep this cycle going. You can see how fast the stamina is regenerating though. It's great. And it's just torching him down. So you can see how powerful this is, and imagine if it had the greater intensity on it, on the Igni attack, it would be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's the build that I've come up with. Oh, I've killed him. Oh, that was a bit too quick. It caught me out. So there you go. that's the build. It's got a heavy focus on Igni. Like I said, I'm going to do another build now. I'm going to do a bit more playing. I'm going to do a build which focuses on using signs for crowd control only, and then delving a little bit deeper into fast attack. To do that, I'm going to go now I'm going to go need and find to do the cat school armour guides to get the light armour. So I don't know how long that's going to take me, but I will get onto it straight away. If this has been useful, if you like the build, please give me a like. Feel free to subscribe. There'll be a button on the screen at the end. And thanks very much, guys. I will see you all soon. Cheers.